Good morning, friends. Welcome back to Rose Tarot and Astrology. I am your host, Mel Rose, and today is Friday, September 2024. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. Thanks for spending this time with me, and thanks for checking in on your regular current astrology. As above, so below, So if we can get an idea what kind of vibrations, what kind of energies are at play out in the universe, then we have an idea what kind of energies are at play here on the ground in our day-to-day lives. And that's important information to have if you have a surprise coming up, or if you have a transformation coming up, or if something is going to block or provide a limitation. It's kind of nice to have a heads up on those things, so that when they show up in our lives, we're not like, surprise, we had no idea. We're like, yes, that's a surprise, but I had an idea that this was coming along, and so I'm better prepared to deal with it. I hope that wherever you are, you're feeling happy and loved and blessed and whole and supported on this beautiful morning. I am feeling very happy and loved and blessed and whole on this beautiful morning in Lee Summit, Missouri. It's gorgeous outside. It's a little extra humid, so if there's fog on my glasses, you know the reason why. Uh, so thank you for being here. If you haven't liked the video yet, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. It all helps me a lot. And I'd love to hear from you guys. So if you want to leave a comment in the comment section down below, I will find it and respond to you. Okay, let's get into today's astrology. We are in the last 3 days of the sun in Virgo. So it's appropriate now to look back on the last month and how the sun in Virgo has gone for you. Sun in Virgo is when we're turning our attention away from the activities of summer and toward the practicalities of autumn and winter. Okay, this is when people go back to school, it's when people go back to work, and really it's about sorting out what you have in terms of physical resources, sorting out what you have, and making the best use of it, putting everything in its place in this very particular way. So when it's time to make use of it, it's right where you need it, and you can take it and you can make use of it. So that's that Virgo vibe. And Mercury is also in Virgo. So Mercury right at home in Virgo, loving where it is. And so with Sun and Mercury in Virgo, if you're feeling that desire to clean out the closet or weed the garden or edit your work or anything like that, go with it. That is the vibe right now, okay? Go with it and just dive in and enjoy the particularity and the meticulousness of that Virgo vibe. The moon today is in Taurus, and it is a waning moon. So we had the full moon on Tuesday with the lunar eclipse, and that was a full moon in Pisces, pretty intense for me at least. I don't know what your experience was, but you're free to share it with me in the comments below. I would love to hear. So now the moon is waning. We're a few days past the full moon. It's a time to be looking around. The full moon is like a party that we threw. It's a time of culmination where everything comes together and we celebrate it and we're happy about it. And then we release into the world what it is that we've been creating. And we can start to look around us now and see like what we need to do to clean up from this party that we threw, right? Which of these items, thoughts, attitudes, dispositions that got us to that full moon do we no longer require in our lives, that we can start to think about getting rid of or setting aside somewhere? So that's the waning moon, is releasing, letting go of things, allowing things to drift away from us that no longer have a purpose for us. And the moon in Taurus is a very grounded vibe. So you've got the sun in Virgo, which is earth, moon in Taurus, which is earth. Moon in Taurus likes to take its time and do things right, okay? It wants to sit still and sink its roots in the ground and make practical growth from where it is, okay? So if you're feeling like you want to go out into the garden, like I said, that vibe is very strong today, okay? Get your feet dirty, get your hands dirty. That's a very good positive vibe for today. But also just about practical matters in your life. The sun and earth and moon and earth. It's a good day to be focused on your health and your wealth and your resources and finances, okay? And in addition to that, today, the sun and Uranus and Pluto are in a grand trine together. And when I talk about a grand trine, what it does is on the chart, it makes a great big triangle in the middle of the chart between 3 of the planets. And they're all in earth signs right now. So the Sun and Uranus and Pluto are all in Earth signs. They are equally distant from one another on the chart, and they're creating this great big beautiful triangle, which is grace. It's allowing. It makes things easy. It brings things easily into our lives, right? So the developments that we're trying to make in our health and our wealth and our resources right now, the progress that we're trying to make, um, these actions are very blessed right now. Okay, these actions are sort of smiled on from above. The universal energy is one very much of allowing those things to develop in a positive way. So there's not much that you have to do with that energy, but just be aware of it and be open to it. Okay, some material blessings may be coming in, some good news about your health may be coming in. You just have to be open to it and allow it. And if it's a surprise or if it's a big change, sometimes it doesn't feel so positive right away when it occurs. But uh, just understand that there's a certain amount of grace that is allowing these things to happen for us right now. And do try to make the best of those developments that you can at this time, because it is a very positive vibration. Additionally, today, Venus is going to make a an adjustment to Uranus. And so this adjustment energy is sort of like between things that I want, the stuff I like, love, and can't get enough of, the stuff I'm always just trying to accept and draw into my life, and whatever new perspective on my health and my wealth and my resources may be coming up for me. Okay, so the information is changing, and so what I want might change. So let's not be too rigid about what it is that we want, what we're trying to receive, because new information may come in, and when new information comes in, what you want may make a change. Okay. um, and Venus is in Libra right now. So Venus is right at home asking for what she wants and needs and desires. Venus is right at home, resting, being open. I like Stormy Grace. She likes to say Venus doesn't chase, right? Venus just accepts. Moon is in Taurus. Taurus is ruled by Venus. Okay, so the moon in Taurus is a time when we are grounded into the earth and very just accepting of the material reality of our lives at that time. So like I said, Venus doesn't chase, Venus is accepting, and this is a really good time to be, again, paying attention to that health, wealth, and finances stuff, health, wealth, and resources, and being accepting of the good, positive things that are coming to you. In addition to that, however, the Sun is having an opposition to Neptune today, and that can bring in some clouds. That can bring in a little bit of deception. It can bring in a little bit of self-deception, or just like something comes up that seems too good to be true. And especially with these graceful grand trine vibes, something can come in that seems too good to be true. And yes, trust that the universe is bringing us positive things, but also verify. Okay, if it seems too good to be true, ask the questions, get to the heart of it, make sure you know what the detail is that makes it you know not quite the thing that you thought it was. Okay. Neptune, especially in conflict and opposition, can be a bit of a deceiver. It can just be a bit of a cloudy thing. And it can be self-deception, or somebody else is trying to deceive us. But often it's just sort of like, I didn't I didn't see that the way I should have. I saw that in one way and the reality was something different. So just be aware of that. Be aware that the reality may be a little bit different than what it is that you're perceiving. And that's just today, friends. Saturday is very active. Sunday is very active. So I'm going to move on into Saturday. Saturday, Mercury is having a square to Jupiter, and that's not very long after that Sun makes an opposition to Neptune. So there's a little bit of an element here of speaking out of turn, saying too much, or committing to a plan that is bigger than something that you can actually achieve in the timely fashion that you want to. Okay, so just be really careful, especially about those things that we might not be very clear on. We don't have all the facts. Let's not speak out of turn, or say things that make commitments to things that are bigger than we can actually manage at the time. Okay. Also, Venus still making an adjustment, but tomorrow to Neptune. So whatever that was that might have been too good to be true, that we needed to check on and verify, now it's like what we like, love, and can't get enough of. What we want is we're having to make an adjustment to. what we have perceived and what clarity we might be getting in the aftermath of that. So when we wake up from our fog, when we wake up from the deception, when we wake up from just the misunderstanding of what was really going on, again, we might have to make an adjustment to what it is we're trying to get in our lives. And then Mercury makes an adjustment to Chiron. That's your healing and your plans. So, sometimes, sometimes, Mercury has to do with like our habitual running around, the way that we get things done on a day-to-day basis. And sometimes, we get into habitual ways of being that don't really reflect the healing that we're trying to achieve. And so, what we have to do is change our habitual way of running around to reflect the healing we're trying to achieve, right? So a good example in my life is like when it's time to cut out soda pops from the place down the street, from the gas station down the street. When it's time to cut out doing that every day, then I need to change my plan. I need to change my route and not include that portion in my route during the day. So changing my plan to reflect the healing that I want to see in my own life. And then the sun completes its trine with Pluto, but we're already in that grand trine between the sun, Pluto, and Uranus for days by now. So tomorrow evening, very late, if something transformative occurs to you, it's very late. It might even be a dream or, just a discovery, something that comes up from underneath, from inside, something that you hadn't thought about in a long time or something that you had not known before suddenly comes to light for you, and it informs your sense of purpose, and it gives you a lot of sense of a personal power to make moves forward in the direction you want to be going. And then Sunday is the fall equinox. It's the day when the sun moves out of Virgo and into Libra, and it's also the day when we reach the midpoint between between the longest day of the year, the summer solstice, and the shortest day of the year, the winter solstice. Okay, so this is the time on Sunday when the day is pretty much equal in length to the night. We are tipping over into autumn, friends. We are putting the summer behind us at this point. And the sun moves into Aries not Aries, pardon me. The sun moves into Libra on Sunday. I'm an Aries sun, so maybe that's just wishful thinking. The sun's moving into my opposite sign on Sunday. So sun moves into Libra. That's very much about fairness, balance, justice, beauty. And, Venus has been in Libra preparing us for those themes already. So I know that the Libra in my house has been very excited and very much feeling the love and the beauty and the graceful vibe of Venus in Libra. And now the sun's going to move into Libra, and that sense of balance and justice is really going to come out. Justice being a big one, right, over the next month or so, because we have a lot going on politically and a lot going on in terms of justice in the United States, of course, but of course around the world as well. So hopefully we see some balances struck, and we see some judgments made, and we see some truths come out while the sun is in Libra that allow us to balance the scales in the world between, possibly like all of the violence and the crime and the heavy stuff that has been happening. Hopefully we can strike a balance and bring a little bit of fairness and beauty and balance into the world as well. And that fall equinox is really a day that, we celebrate as pagans. It's a time when we, like I said, put the summer behind us and look forward to the fall and winter. Fall and winter is a different story from the summer, right? It's going to cool off. It's going to get very cold in the winter time. And so we are making preparations. We are trying to make sure that we have the things that we need in place to get us through the winter time, right? This is a good time to be like making sure the car has all of its maintenance and things like that. Your home is going to want to be winterized in the coming months. So that's a couple of the things that are coming up for me with the sun in Libra. Also on Sunday, it's not just the sun in Libra. The moon goes into Gemini, so that's going to be more of an air vibe than the earth vibe that we're in today. So more intellectual, more thoughtful, more about our plans and our conversations and how we're collaborating with others. So keep that in mind. It's going to be more of a vibration for collaboration, for having conversations, for being truthful and honest. Libra brings out the truth, okay? Just the fact, man, so that we can make good judgments about the things that we want for ourselves. And then also on Sunday, Venus is going to move over into Scorpio. But right before it moves into Scorpio, it's going to square Pluto. Pluto is the modern ruler of Scorpio. So it's a little bit of a maybe just an acknowledgement of where Venus is headed into Scorpio. It's a little bit of a tougher vibration for Venus. When Venus is in Libra, it's right at home and it's loving the beauty and the balance and the fairness and the partnerships. And when Venus moves into Scorpio, it's a much more emotional vibe. It doesn't do badly there, but it definitely has a more feeling vibe to it, and it can be a little more assertive from the heart. It can bring up emotions that you didn't expect. It can bring up emotions about desire and wanting that you didn't expect to feel. So just be aware of that. Then Venus will be in Scorpio for another few weeks after that. And that is Sunday, the fall equinox. Next week, we'll have that waning half moon on Tuesday, and that will be in the sign of Cancer. Moon in Cancer is right at home, so we should feel right at home, sort of clearing from our creative spaces the things that no longer serve a purpose in our creative process. And next week, Mercury moves into Libra as well, and other things are happening as well. And I'll be here to talk with you about it on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday of next week. So I've given you today and the weekend. It's a lot of information. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. I'm happy to clarify anything that that I may have said or maybe double spoke during my video. I appreciate you all so much for being here. Thank you very much, and I will catch you on Monday.